We're back with Green Mountain Mornings on KVT Talk, where Brattleboro listens 24 minutes past the top of the hour. I'm your host, Olga Peters. And if you heard the little kerfuffle, we were having some technical difficulties there.
They weren't that bad. It was really easily remedied. Oh, I have to plug this thing in? Is that how it works?
Headphones work so much better when they're plugged into the system.
It's so weird.
Wendy Levy from the Commons is in the studio with me at the moment. And I also want to let listeners know that this segment is being filmed by Brattleboro Community Television, and it will be up online later today. And broadcast of Green Mountain Mornings tonight is sponsored by Brattleboro Savings and Loan.
Then you could see how fabulous we look.
Exactly, in our matching orange t-shirts.
I know. I'm glad that we got the memo.
Yes, except I need fancy red fun glasses like you with sparkles.
Well, I need fancy, awesome, multicolored hair like you. So I guess, we kind of balance each other out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Lots of color, lots of rainbow happening here. A lot of sparkle.
Sparkle.
Speaking of sparkle.
Sparkle.
Downtown.
Nice segue.
Food. Sparkle.
Food is sparkling. You can eat it anyway. So yeah, I'm working on a story that is multifaceted. There's a lot of changes happening. There's a lot of flux in the downtown food world right now. So let's see if I can remember them all, because almost every, well, okay, that's an exaggeration. A huge percentage of the kitchens downtown are switching. And some places that didn't even serve food, the storefront are now turning into food places like Yala on Main Street, Yala, Vermont, which is Mediterranean food. And you had written a story in the Commons about them for a while ago. So they're doing hummus, but other things too, right?
Yeah, what I am so excited about Yala coming into Main Street, and they're moving in right next to what some people might know as the former At the Oasis storefront, but it's right next to Mocha Joe's. What is exciting is the folks behind Yala have been working with the local farmers markets, especially the West Townsend Farmers Market. And so he's been selling out of basically the back of his car, like most people do at farmers markets.
Yeah.
And he's been having condiments and also doing kind of Israeli-Palestinian street food.
Oh, yum.
And his food is amazing. I've had it before, and I'm totally biased. It's amazing. And so he had said at the time when I interviewed him, what, 2 years ago? It was like
2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
He had said, I hope to eventually have a store, either a deli or a restaurant or something like that.
Well, now he does, or he's about to.
So he's kind of moving his way that way.
Yeah, and you can look. I mean, he doesn't have the windows all covered at the location, and they've done a lot of work in there. They've really changed the interior, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of tables, if any. It's hard to tell. If there are, there might be a few small ones, but they put a hood in there, so they're going to be cooking something. And a cooler. I can see a grab and go cooler in there. But I really love Middle Eastern and Mediterranean food, and I really miss
Sarki's.
Yeah. And also, I lived in New York City for a while, so I got to eat a lot of like shawarma and falafel and stuff like that. And I really miss it. And I think it's exciting to also have somebody who's from the region where that food comes from, who's here making it. So, yeah, I think he's opening. I haven't talked to him yet, but from what my sources tell me, I think he's opening in the next month or so.
Okay.
So just in time for spring and walking around and eating food. So there's that. And then right diagonally across the street, Brattleboro closed in the beginning of March, and there's a new establishment going in there, a taqueria that's either Two Flames or Twin Flames. I can't remember exactly, but I have I have a phone appointment to talk to the owner of that on Monday. His name is James Casterline. He's on the West Coast right now because he's the chef for Coachella music festival. So he's cooking for the artists and for the crew, the backstage crew. But we're going to talk on the phone on Monday, and I'll get some details. But their menu is posted in the window at the location, which is on Main Street. What is it? It's right in between. It's right next to Turn It Up.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Well, it's where Brattleboro used to be. So yeah, you can look at their menu in the window. And then speaking of tacos, Cantina Vidora, which is on Elliott Street,
Mm-hmm.
where Coffee Country was for quite some time, and where
Tulip had been for a
Tulip had
while.
been there. There was a really good sandwich shop that wasn't there for that long because they left the area. But that's the reason why the fellow who owns Cantina Vidora is closing, because he's leaving the area.
Hmm.
So yeah, he hasn't been open that long, and business seems to be good. When
Mm-hmm.
I've gone by or gone in there, people are there enjoying the food. I like the food there, but he's from Alabama and somehow missed the aspect of Vermont where the winters are cold.
Huh. That would show a lack of research on his part.
Yeah, I think something got lost in translation. So yeah, he's kind of all done with that. So I'm not sure exactly when they're closing. I'll be talking to him in depth today, but I think in May. So we're gaining a taqueria and losing a similar kind of
Mm-hmm.
establishment. And then back on Main Street, the Shin La has been closed for a
Right.
number of months because poor Mrs. Kim fell on the ice and injured herself pretty
Yeah.
badly. From
Oh
what I understand, she
no.
broke something.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and so folks probably know that her husband, who used to work with her in the kitchen for a very long time, I mean, that's a family establishment, he hasn't been there for a long time because he has health issues.
Hmm.
So it's been Mrs. Kim.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been trying to sell the restaurant. A couple years ago, I did a story on her
Right.
quest to find somebody to come in and run a Korean restaurant. She has been unsuccessful, and that restaurant's been closed for a handful of months. I don't know if it's going to reopen, but I hope to talk to her soon. I'm going to give her a call. I mean, it'd also be nice to talk to her because I've been eating at the Shin La since I was 17, 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, I'm turning 44.
Right.
That's a long time to have hot noodle soup. I know
Next week, our
our
birthdays
birthdays are next week.
Oh my
Your
gosh.
birthday is not this coming, but the following Sunday,
Right.
FYI.
Thank goodness your birthday's before mine, or I'd totally forget my own.
Olga and I are 5 days apart, even of the same year. Oh, wait, now everybody, well,
Now
you don't,
everyone knows.
yeah. Do you care?
I don't care.
Me neither.
I really don't.
I've earned these 44 years.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, yeah, so I've been eating at the Shin La for a long time, and I do
Wow.
miss the hot noodle soup, and I miss
Yes.
seeing Mrs. Kim, so it'll be nice to talk to her. But yeah, did I hit? Oh no, there's one more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, there's so many, I almost forgot one of them. So where Metropolis used to be, today for Gallery Walk is the soft opening of oh now I can't remember the name, but it's a this is terrible, but it's a new cafe
Okay.
serving comfort food
Oh,
of
nice.
lots of different varieties, grilled cheese, soup, baked goods, but all gluten free.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so she'll be there today. The owner is named Dara.
Mm-hmm.
She and I have the same last name, but she pronounces it differently.
Okay. Just
And go check her out.
We're back with Green Mountain Mornings on KVT Talk, where Brattleboro listens. I'm your host, Olga Peters. 39 minutes past the top of the hour. And welcome back to my guest, Wendy Levy from the Commons. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
So there was a major property sale.
I'll say
Yeah,
$1 million.
that's woo.
Yeah. So there was an auction. When was it? Tuesday, I think.
Mhm.
So the building formerly housing Cultural Intrigue, which kind of just went kaput and left a lot of owes a lot of people money,
Yes.
including the town of Brattleboro with the revolving loan fund. Yeah, that place is no moss, and here's this big building sitting right on the intersection of Frost and Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen to this building? Well, it got auctioned off, and who bought it? Pierre and Ellen Cappy from Mocha Joe's. So you may be thinking to yourself, wow, that's going to be a really huge coffee shop. Not quite. So for folks who are familiar with Mocha Joe's as the place to get some coffee,
And some really good yummies.
it's true. And some good tea also.
Mhm.
And to sit and read or play chess. Well, it's more than that. Mocha Joe's also imports beans. They work directly with some farmers in Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
and they roast their beans. There's a roasting shop. Most people don't know it's there, although sometimes you can smell it.
And you're like, what is that
Yeah, it
smell?
smells like coffee, but like where
Not.
yeah, like why is it everywhere? So they're behind Candle in the Night in
Mm.
that building,
Mm-hmm.
sort of behind Key Bank on
Right.
Main Street. So they've been there for a while, and I remember when they started roasting, they were they had a little tiny spot on Flat Street where Adivasi ended up moving in.
Oh,
This was a
right.
really long time ago. That was the first time I'd
Yeah.
seen coffee roasted because I popped in there with a friend to go say hi to Pierre. I worked at Mocha Joe's a really long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 21 years old, I had a job there, 20, 21, maybe 22. I worked behind the counter. It was a really great way to meet people in
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
So here I am. Next week, I'm going to talk to Pierre and Ellen again, but not for a job interview like I did when I was 20, but to talk to them about their acquisitions. So yeah, they got some help from the BDCC, some advice. I don't know if they got any funding from
Mm-hmm.
that, but I can find out. I think they may have gotten some Entergy money, but I have to confirm that too.
Okay.
I mean, $1 million is a big ticket.
Yeah.
But yeah, they bought it at auction. The closings, Pierre, when I popped in to the roasting shop the other day to talk to Pierre to set up an interview, he said, we have 4 closings we have to do on that building. I don't know why, maybe because it's an auction. I'm not sure.
Well, or maybe because so many people had, like, People's Bank had the first mortgage on it,
Oh,
essentially, and
okay.
then I
It's a
think the
different,
town was like third,
wow.
maybe.
Okay.
So yeah.
So there's a lot that's going on. So the earliest he can talk to me, he and Ellen, is on Monday
Mm-hmm.
afternoon. So I look forward to talking to them. But what this will allow Mocha Joe's to do is have a place to store the green the green beans that come in, the
Okay.
green coffee beans, the unroasted ones, because apparently right now they're storing them when they get imported. They're somewhere in New York City. I don't know where, maybe Long Island City. There's a lot of warehouses there, but now they can store them up here, but they won't occupy the building alone.
Okay.
So they'll roast there and store the beans, etc. there. But they have there's at least 2 other businesses
Mm-hmm.
that are going to maybe sublet, somehow
Oh,
share the
nice.
building with them. I don't know who yet. Pierre said that they weren't ready to be revealed.
Okay.
Maybe on Monday I can find out, but they won't have the building occupied completely on their own.
Okay.
But yeah, and they wanted to stay downtown and they were able to do so. So I think that's a really exciting development for that neighborhood because
Mm-hmm.
having that warehouse empty,
Yeah, that's just that's a
it's
lot of potential blight right there.
yeah, absolutely, especially in that kind of central location.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for Pierre and Ellen. I think that's a really great development for them. They've built that business slowly but steadily
Mm-hmm.
in what, 25, 30 years. They started in the very early
Wow.
90s.
Wow.
Yeah, they moved into the old shoe repair place.
Oh,
Joe
that's right.
Joe DeAngelis, I think was his
Mm-hmm.
name. That's why they called it Mocha Joe's,
Yeah.
in honor of the fellow who used to be a cobbler in that spot. But I mean, Mocha Joe's has been a big part of downtown for a really long time. It's employed a lot of people, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
Folks out there who really like independent music and know the band Tune Yards.
Uh-huh.
The person, Tune Yards has played on stage with Yoko Ono, David Byrne, people like
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, that's Meryl Garbus, and she and I used to work at Mocha Joe's together.
No
So
kidding.
yeah, she used to make coffee and espresso, just like so many of us, and now she's on stage with Yoko Ono. But yeah, so it's quite a place.
Well, and Flat Street, it will be. Well, I have to back up. I feel sorry for the two businesses that will be subletting
Okay,
with Mocha Joe's warehouse.
why?
Well, because they're probably going to smell coffee all the time, and it would be like, oh my gosh, I want coffee.
I know, right? That
I
smells so
want
good. Like, what
coffee.
if they're trying to like quit coffee? I know they'll have to put like a filter under their nose, or just bring a lot of donuts or something
or
into the
or
shop.
out of sympathy, Pierre and I'm forgetting
Ellen,
Ellen. Thank
uh
you.
huh.
They will just have to give free coffee to the next door
I wonder if
businesses.
that's part of the lease.
Ooh.
Maybe
Ooh,
I could find out
a
on
free
Monday.
bag a month or
I
something
know,
along. I
right?
That would be a pretty good lease.
Yeah.
Um, but and I don't know all the details yet because I just got the press release. But Flat Street is going to be getting some more work done because the New England Youth Theater
Okay.
just is getting ready to move forward with its next round of um, changes.
Really?
You know how down where the New England Youth Theater is, there's those two other buildings.
Yeah, those old industrial buildings that were, I think, like brownfields of some sort, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, they've just announced that they're getting ready to move forward with further upgrades to the property.
Wow.
And I'm
And
being vague only because
because you don't know.
I haven't finished reading the press release,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's exciting.
Wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. I wonder what they're going to do there. I'm excited for them. That's another place that has steadily
Mm-hmm.
grown for quite some time. I mean, they started in like what, one of the little street level theaters at the Latches.
Yeah.
And now they have this big building and now they're going to expand even further. So that little section of Frost and Flat Street has some stuff going on.
Yeah. New energy.
And there's a DRB hearing. The next DRB hearing, they're going to talk about Mocha Joe's use of that building.
Right.
But also, I saw something on the agenda about Whetstone Station, or at least
Oh,
about David Heiler.
okay.
I don't know details. I will be watching the
Mm-hmm.
hearing, but it's at 39 Frost Street.
Okay.
So yeah, so something else. I don't know if maybe they're going to do some brewing there
Mm-hmm.
or a tasting room, but stuff is happening. And I mean, this is a public document. Anybody can go check it out, but it was pretty short on details.
Okay. Yeah, the DRB tends to be kind of short on details until they have the hearing.
Right. Yeah, then this was just the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so stay tuned.
How
I
exciting.
know,
Lots of
right?
new
Stuff.
stuff
Stuff is
happening.
happening.
Yay, Brattleboro. So we want to take just a quick moment to mention, as people know, I used to write for the Commons. I still do some freelance writing for the Commons. Wendy, of course, writes for the Commons. And I guess the Commons has been working on some board development,
And they need to do more.
and they need to do more. So we're kind of putting the shout out there specifically for board members who have mad, crazy fundraising skills.
We really need people to raise some funds because it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
That board isn't raising funds. And I will tell you, I missed a week of work last week because I got the flu. I was really sick. There was nothing I could do about it. I'm not going to go to a public hearing or interview somebody and give them my germs. Also,
Right.
because I couldn't get off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only reporter.
Only full-time
I'm
reporter.
the only
yeah.
full-time reporter. And I wasn't even full-time until a couple months ago because they had to do pay cuts. My pay got cut
Mm-hmm.
by 20% starting in October. And we used to employ Mike Fair part-time, and we had to let him go. And it's really bad. A newspaper can't happen with one full-time reporter, especially when she's a human being and she got sick for a week.
Yeah.
It put a lot of pressure on the newspaper, and it put a lot of pressure on the staff, and something needs to happen. We need some people who have real fundraising skills,
Mm-hmm.
real fundraising ideas, not somebody's vanity project where 3 other friends are going to come and they're all going to get comped at the door. No, we need somebody who knows how to raise money and is willing to do it and believes in this newspaper, because a lot of this community believes in this newspaper, and I love that. But it's time to turn that into something more sustainable.
So for those who don't know, the Commons, and I feel for Wendy because for a long time I was the only full-time reporter
Yeah, you
that
know
they
how
had.
that works.
And that is a lot of pressure,
It
especially
really is.
in such a busy community where we have
We have
news
so
all the
much
time.
going on.
Yeah, you would just watch stories go by and you're like,
Yep,
I
can't do it.
can't do it. I've put in a 17-hour day. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But the way the Commons kind of financial structure, for lack of a better term, works is there's the membership portion, there's the advertised sales, and then there is supposed to be donations / fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
And our advertising is
It's
pretty
robust.
healthy. It's
Yeah,
really
we have a
robust.
good team in there right now. It's really improved a lot.
And we have some dedicated members,
We
although
absolutely
we would
do.
do a lot better with more memberships, which
yep.
are not that
They're
expensive.
not that expensive, but because they're not that expensive, they don't go a long way to funding the paper.
Right.
They're important, but as you're saying, it's not, it's a short leg in the three-legged stool.
Right. Yeah, and the other leg in the stool is so it should be fundraising and special events and
Yeah, and that's not
angel
happening.
donors and things like that. And that's the part that's just not. It needs a lot of nurturing.
It does. And I would love to do it. I'm sure Randy would love to do it. We're trying to put a paper together. We
Yeah.
don't have the bandwidth.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and technically, as journalists, your focus should be on the news.
Yeah, exactly.
The board should be worrying about the fundraising.
Yes, and I don't know what's happening, but I haven't seen any fundraisers. I mean, we do have a grant writer, but we work pretty closely with Jed Bloom, and
He's amazing.
He's really talented. He's gotten us some money in the past. He's also gotten other organizations money. He's proven, but it can't all rest on him.
Right. Right.
He's not going to hold a fundraiser. He's going to go after foundation money. That's his job.
Yep. So if you are interested in being on the board or even if you just have some mad fundraising skills, we would love to hear from you. The board does have some subcommittees. And so if you're not interested in being a full-time board member, you can be like on the
you can help
fundraising
out.
subcommittee. So reach out to probably Randy at commonsnews.org would be the best person to reach out to.
You can give the newsroom a call, 246-6397 in the 802 area code.
And they will be very, very, very happy to hear from you.
Yes.
Wendy, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me that platform to sound somewhat of an alarm.